Back when I was in high school, I remember they released a substitute plushie back when, like, I guess the Pokemon Center was first opened, maybe? Was this even during high school? Maybe it was already in university. But I remember watching a bunch of, like, Pokemon tournaments because I was really into the TCG from, like, Black and White era onwards, and people would bring these, like, little plushies as, like, good luck charms, and I kept seeing people with substitutes, and I was like, damn, I want a substitute, but then I would look on eBay, it'd be super expensive. And today I went to the Pokemon Center in Ikebukuro, and they had them back. This is like the fastest I've ever insta-copped something at the Pokemon Center in my life. They also had like a really big fat one, and I might go back and get another one. I don't know why. There's been like a Hisuian Zorua that I've been looking at for like, I don't know, like 2 months now there. But the substitute I saw just immediately copped. This is like a incomplete childhood dream, except childhood being high school years. Anyway, that has nothing to do with today's video. Today we're going to be finishing up a leftover DifferentFight. Now you may be wondering, DifferentFight, why did you not upload any DifferentFights these last few weeks? The answer is simple. One, I was recording them on my MacBook beforehand and it was very laggy and very demotivating to make those kind of videos. So I was waiting to get this PC from my friend Bobby. And then when I got the PC from Bobby, the PC is quite old and therefore the BlueStacks was really slow. So motivation took a nosedive again, but then I found out that if I fiddle with something in the BIOS settings, I can fix the issue. And today I managed to fix the issue and run a test game, and I was surprised with how smooth and playable this was again. So zero content can now resume. Sorry for the wait. We're gonna start it off by finishing up a leftover, which is Scharhrot. Now, of course, Scharhrot is the Dark Regulars deck that you guys have in Global right now. And I also did not really try to complete it. I built it with what I had, because as you'll notice, I only have 2 of the Gilles de Ré, which you should definitely, sorry, well, I have 3, right? I'm just playing a third for no reason. I could exchange for my GR ticket for one of these, but I also could not do that and use it for something that I actually play a lot more. So optimally, yes, you should be playing 4 Gilles de Ré, and you know, I'm just gonna put that out there immediately. I just put it in 3 because I have 3, okay? Don't judge me. So anyway, let's go through the deck. A lot of new cards here that we've never seen before in videos, so let's talk about them. First things first, we have Scharhrot Vampir, the grade 3. So he says GB2 during your turn. If you have 6 or more soul, he gets plus 10k, and if you have 10 or more soul, he gets a crit. So generally speaking, we want to be on 10 soul by like first stride, and then after that we get to 13 and then just stop there. His skill, when you stride over him, says you can soul charge 2, and if you did, for that turn, your Vanguard gets the following ability. At the end of the battle that the Vanguard attacked, if you have 6 or more soul, you can randomly retire one of your opponent's rearguards, prioritizing the back row. And then if you have 10 or more soul, you put 2 cards from your drop zone randomly back to the deck. So this can put your triggers back too, which is very important. So carefully choose what you discard for stride and stuff. And of course it gets 3k when you ride it. So it's a very good grade 3 because it fuels your soul every time you stride, and also has a pretty useful GB2 as well, as you just need an extra 5k to actually ask for PGs with it. The one of grade 3 we run is the Glanzen Vampir. Vanguard Circle GB1 Darkness, which is the keyword for Dark Regulars, which basically says like if your soul increased in any way during your turn outside of riding. He says at the end of your turn, if you have 6 or more soul, you can put one of your darkness ability rearguards from your hand, either your rearguard or from your hand. You can put darkness ability card to your soul to draw 1, and then if you have 13 or more soul, you countercharge 1 and pop an opponent's rearguard. So it's only on Vanguard Circle. And then when placed on a Van or rearguard circle, which is where we usually use it, you can count almost 1, look at top 5 of your deck, and then find any amount of darkness ability cards from among them, put them into your soul, and then this unit gets plus 1k for every card that you put to the soul this way. So it's a very good way to set up the soul for 1 CB, which is pretty cool. And then we run 4 of the Chariot as a draw trigger, because of course we still need to draw into our pieces, and you might be thinking, oh, you're gonna just deck out and die, right? Like, how are you playing draws in DI? Well, Chariot helps to kind of refill the deck, and we can keep reusing it, and sometimes it gets sent back to deck from the drop zone too, so that's pretty good. Of course, you know, it fills up our deck with 3 cards, which helps to not deck out, and then of course heal guards. For the start, I'm running the Enigmatic Assassin. You have 2 choices of starters. You have this or the Bat, which helps to set up the soul. The Bat will help you reach 10 soul on first stride very consistently, whereas Enigmatic Assassin is more so for combos and actually winning the game. So Enigmatic Assassin says in the soul, darkness, so you have to have soul charges in some way this turn. At the end of the battle that your unit attacked, so any of your units, and so it checks every single battle, by the way. If you have 10 or more soul, you can call this card out of your soul, and then this unit gets plus OK for the turn. And then if you called it out of the soul while having 13 or more cards in the soul, it gets another plus 10k, so it's a 20k attacker, therefore you can make an extra attack to find it, you know, just finalize the game, to finish off your opponent. So I like this starter quite a lot. It does not have Forerunner, so it stays in the soul when you ride over it, because it simply means that we have extra combo potential, especially on the Scharhrot stride. Then for grade 1s, we run 1 copy of the Succubus, the Scharhrot Searcher stride fodder, and then 4 copies of the Were-Tiger Jaeger. This is also stride fodder, so when you would pay the cost for stride, if you have 2 or more cards with the Darkness ability in your soul, this card gets grade +2 in your hand. And it has 2 effects in the soul, the first one of which is when this card is put to the soul outside of riding over it, you can almost 1 and draw 1, which is very nice, just an extra card draw. And in the soul it has the Darkness ability. If you have 6 or more soul, you can almost 1 and discard 1 to soul charge 1, which I'm sure you don't want to do that for just a soul charge, because if you have 10 or more soul, you put it back to your hand. So please only use it when you have 10 or more soul, otherwise it's not really worth it to use it. So yeah, it's basically a stride fodder that takes itself out of your soul, which is really, really good. So that's why we run it as a 4 of. 4 of the Darkness PGs because it's actually very good. Of course, it's a PG, and in the soul GB1 Darkness, you can retire one of your grade 1 or lower rear guards in order to add this back to hand from soul. So if you soul charge your PGs, you just bring them back to hand, which is really good. And then we have 4 copies of the Edge in the Darkness. This says Darkness GB1, if you have 6 or more soul, it gets plus 3k power, so it's a 10k attacker or booster. And then if you have 10 or more soul on rearguard circle, this unit can intercept from the back row. So basically you can pass on, like, you know, 5 intercepts, which is pretty good, and some decks will definitely struggle against that, and that will also save you some games too. Then for the grade 2s, I basically designed my grade 2 slots to be able to reach 10 soul, or like, it's basically like all cards at soul charge plus some removal for when we need it. So the removal, of course, is Gwyn the Ripper. It's just on place, combos 2, and retire an opponent's grade 2 or lower rear guard. Then the other cards are 4 copies of Demonted Executioner. This card is really good, especially for the second skill. The second skill says when you place it on rearguard circle, you can look at the top 7 cards of your deck and then put 1 Darkness ability card from among them to your soul. So it's a free soul charge, and this can find you your PG because of course it has the Darkness ability. It can find the Were-Tiger Jaeger and also set up for his condition, which is also very nice. And then, you know, like all of your grade 1s are Darkness. This does not have Darkness, so the only grade 2s are basically the Demonted, as well as, I believe, this card as well. Yes, so the Tragic Claw is also Darkness. So basically any normal unit you soul charge is gonna be very good. And then the first skill of the Executioner is Darkness. Once per turn, if you have 6 or more soul, you can count +1 to get plus 2k, and if you have 10 or more soul, you can you also get plus 3k. So basically, count +1 to get plus 5k, I don't really think is that good, but it has a Darkness ability. We don't use a Darkness ability, but it has it, which means it can be targeted, which is good. Then we have Tragic Claw 4 times. When your other unit is placed in the same column as this unit, Vanguard Rearguard Circle, Soul Charge 1. This also works if you ride over it. You will still get a Soul Charge 1, which is very good. And then Rearguard Circle GB1 Darkness. If you have 10 or more cards in Soul, this unit can boost, and if you have 13 or more in Soul, it gets plus 2k. So 11k booster as well, which is quite nice, but keep in mind it will not intercept from the back row, so do be careful about that. But it's a very good card. Like, this is a very cool way to just like Soul Charge a bunch because it's not once per turn either, so overall a very nice grade 2. And then finally we have 2 copies of the Flying Librarian, which says Rearguard Circle GB1 when placed cost 1 to Soul Charge 2, and if you have 6 or more soul you draw 1, and if you have 10 or more soul you countercharge 1, thus refunding the cost. So it's good. It's an 8k, which kind of hurts at times, but of course, you know, it's a good soul charger, which we do like. Then for first ride options, we mostly want to go into the Eliclius. This has Darkness, and when it attacks the Vanguard, Soul Charge 2, and then for that battle, get the following 2 abilities. First one is, if it hits, if you have 6 or more soul, you randomly retire one of your opponent's rearguards. So with Scharhrot's stride skill, you retire 2, which is very good. And if you have 10 or more soul, this unit gets plus 1k, sorry, for every card in your soul. So that part isn't as important, it's just important that we reach 10 soul by the end of first ride in some shape or form. Otherwise, we can go into this, which is the Kiss skill Lila. She says when our attack hits the Vanguard, Soul Charge 2, and if you have 6 or more soul, you draw 1, and if you have 10 or more soul, you draw 1 more. So if your hand is really dead, or you just need to like refill the hand, or like you just have nothing but triggers, or like, you know, PGs and heal guards, then you can go into her as well. So both good first rides. Then we have a, you know, the Soulless Demagogue, which is another kind of interesting combo card you can run with a starter. During your main phase, when a card is put into your soul, this basically gets the skill that your front row gets plus 1k. So for every time you soul charge in the main phase, this skill will multiply. So if you have soul charge 5, it'll be a plus 5k to your front row, which means that this starter will also be able to shine. So it's a cool one of, I think, to run for the time being. And then a Blitza, which you never really go into. Harmonics that you go into against Link Joker. And again, as you can see, it's basically just me not having 4 of the Gilles de Rais GR. Speaking of which, let's go over Gilles de Rais. It's a really good finisher. GB2 when it attacks the Vanguard, you G Persona Blast, and then for that battle gain a crit. And if you have 10 or more cards in Soul, you get plus 10k. And if you have 13 or more cards in Soul, then when your opponent would PG, they have to discard a grade 3 randomly, otherwise they cannot. This is really good against Luard these days, because Luards don't run many grade 3s, so you can randomly just steal wins against them, because this works when they're at 4 damage. So Gilles de Rais is really good. If you're a DI main, you definitely want 4, but of course you can make it work with 2, as I'm I'm trying to over here as well. And then 2 copies of the Scharhrot Stride, this very beautiful art Scharhrot. GB2 and attacks anything. This can attack rearguard 2, can almost 1 and flip any unit face up, and then you put all of your front row rearguards to Soul, and then he gets plus 10k for that battle. And if you have 10 or more cards in Soul, you retire all of your opponent's rearguards, and then for every face up copy of himself in the G zone, you countercharge 1. So this is a really cool board wipe, where you can theoretically swing with him to the rear guard and then eat their other intercept as a result, if you want to do that, you know, just purely for that skill. But it kind of counteracts what his second skill says, which is GB2 Darkness. When he attacks during that battle, if you have 13 or more Soul, when your opponent would PG, they have to randomly discard a grade 3 or greater, otherwise they cannot PG. So you still want to be attacking into the Vanguard with this card because of that skill specifically, but the phrasing at least opens up for those kind of other plays if you want to go into them. So that's basically the deck. I think we went over basically everything. It's a fun deck. I don't think it's very high tier for now, because again, you know, it's just Luard is very strong, and a lot of other decks are just very strong combo decks, and you're kind of reliant on like getting your 10 Soul and then just kind of like either killing them with one of your guard restricts and multi-attacks, or, you know, just like having more intercepts in them and then not having removal, so hopefully you don't queue into Blade Master. So anyway, enough talking, let's get into a game. I need to put on IG sleeves. Hold up. I need to put on IG sleeves for this so I can get my daily done. Alright, IG sleeves equipped and gaming is ready to be had. You can play against Angel Feather in the first round. And also starting off this round, I want to immediately ask you guys, what deck and fight do you want to see next? Because I have a huge backlog, and now that I can finally record these videos in peace again, I would like to hear your thoughts. So please let me know what deck and fights you want to see from upcoming sets, because this finally wraps up the current set that English is on, and I want to do the next one with, of course, Altmile in it. And the only really things that I built from that set is like Altmile, to be honest, so there's not that much. So do let me know. Here I think we ride the Wertaka Jaeger because we can get him out of the Soul, and it's a Darkness ability card. So what's cool is that here, right, we pass, and you'll notice that this card also has a Darkness ability. So just by riding a grade 2, we immediately achieve the condition of having 2 Darkness cards in the Soul, which is really good, right? So it's actually very easy to have that condition ready, and I do like that quite a lot about how easy it is to have that condition, I suppose, in this deck. So my opponent is playing Celestials, it seems, which is pretty surprising. I'm expecting Gabriel, to be honest. We're going to go into Tragic Claw. This, of course, lets us, you know, aggro. We can theoretically also push a bit with the Tragic Claws to get some early Soul, because, of course, Angels don't really have that much removal. We Soul Charge a PG, which is actually very good. We can dig that out of the Soul later on. We're going to attack, not check an offensive trigger, see if my opponent checks defensive. Of course they do. So we don't get to hit with the rear swing. I wanted to aggro a little bit, but alas, I've been punished. Luckily, Glanzen's second skill is not GB1, which means I can actually use it and try to fill up the Soul with some good cards. And then, of course, we can, you know, I might need to be careful with that because it's my only Stride Fodder in hand, so we might need to watch out in that front. What does this card do again? This is a stand trigger, and it's a damage zone. Huh. Oh, it calls itself out. That's pretty cool. Well, now it's gone to damage to the drop zone, so it's no longer going to call itself out. So that's nice. We get a draw, Mr. Chariot popping up and chilling and vibing. Let's see if we can get a Stride Fodder here. We don't get a Stride Fodder, we're going to ride into the Scharhrot. Of course, don't have the Satoru skin, unfortunately. We're chilling here with Danji, my soulmate. We could try to still fill up the Soul with Glanzend. I'm thinking if it's worth it. Having to Struggle Stride next turn is going to hurt, but at the same time, putting up double grade 1 isn't bad because they'll both be able to intercept eventually, but I think this will only intercept in the back row, yeah. I'll play the Glanzend, I think. I do want to see what we can get out of this. It is a pretty big search, top 5 for 3 cards. See, like, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. We get, like, PGs, we get a bunch of good stuff in here. And we can also use this skill to draw a card, which might get us into another Stride Fodder or something good. There we go! Got us a Scharhrot, so that's nice. Like, you might be thinking, like, oh my god, you have no CB now, but honestly, it's not that big of a deal because, like, we don't really need CB for that many skills, honestly. It's mostly, a lot of the things that CB will refund themselves, so that's pretty good. As you can see now, we're already at 8 cards in Soul. Of course, 2 of them we want to get out, and keep in mind that when you get the PG out of the Soul, it will deplete 1 card from Soul because it doesn't self-replace, so be careful with that. You know, that's all I'm going to really say about it. My opponent is not striding. Do they not have Stride Fodder? I'm assuming they don't, because they also don't have enough for Legion yet. Well, now they do, but I guess they want to just aggress a little bit. Let's see if they attack into my rear. They will not, because the Vanguard is still hitting my Vanguard, so that makes sense. We get a PG in the damage, so now all the PGs are out, basically. They're public knowledge. So with that, as we don't need that much soul, I think we can go into this. Theoretically, we don't need to retire that much because we're retiring from the stride skill. Right, so we might as well go into the draw and find more pieces. So let's do that. Because here with Scharhrot skill, we will get up to 10 soul. And then we can actually go to 14 if I use the Librarian here, which is also quite good. We get a no, not a Scharhrot, a Chariot. Their names sound very similar. We soul charge some more good cards. We are 10 soul. We can use the Librarian, which will refund its own cost, which is definitely very good. So that's also excellent. Nice, we get that back. Here I think we can use the grade 1 PG here. So this needs to retire a grade 1 or lower. So unfortunately you cannot kill off your grade 3s, which is a bit unfortunate, but alas, it's fine. We're going to use this skill. Now we're at 11, and then when the Vanguard hits, we're actually going to hit the nice count of 13, which is perfect. It's exactly where we want to be, so that is good. So with this, we have 2 PGs, and we are swinging for good numbers. We have a back row intercept at the ready, and as you can see here, Mr. Enigmatic Assassin wants to come out at all times. Like, this will prompt you after every single battle, so you have to, be patient with it, let's say. Gotta be a little bit patient with it, know fully well that it will keep prompting after every battle. Damn, we're drawing like 2 cards from this, so gotta be a little bit careful not to deck out, of course. But we have Scharhrot in hand, we have Chariot in hand even. Alright, double draw, we're not going to use this skill here. We're going to use this skill to put 2 cards back. We're going to retire 1 and put 2 cards back, and then not use this. And then with this, we pass on a triple intercept turn actually, so we might not even take any damage here because we're playing against Angels, and Hrut has attack Vanguard to do multi-attacks. So with all that being said, we have a big old hand, we have a full hand even, which is a little bit concerning. I drew more than I expected. My opponent's going to go into Mikael, which is fine. And then next we're going to ditch this to Stride, and we're going to use the Chariot. We have 2 Chariots in drop, so I really wanted them to go back to deck, actually. Hopefully that happens. Because more Chariots means more recycling. But from here on out, we can do different things in terms of our Stride lineup. We can either go into... I'm trying to think what's most effective, because I don't want to waste my only copy of this, right? So I might as well go into the Scharhrot here and just pop my opponent's field, especially if they left up any... No, they just have grade 2s here. So, interestingly, they are going to hit... Ooh, the double stand. Okay, they're actually going to rip out a heal guard from my hand, which is a good thing for me, personally. So, that's cool. So this will hit, hopefully not into a draw. I don't think I have any more draws. Oh, I still have a draw left, that's kind of scary. That will take out a PG. It actually is 31. That is kind of scary to think about. Because if we get a heal guard, that would have also gone back, which would have been very excellent. So my opponent's at 3. I'm thinking we could Scharhrot here, but Scharhrot doesn't feel that good. God, it's not... See, this is why you want 4 copies of this, is because you can push with one of them, and then not push with the other. Crazy. I guess I can go into the Scharhrot. It's not great, but it's an option for now. And then we will use the Chariots to refill our deck a little bit, so we can soul, we can actually do our stuff. We do have removal. We will... So if I soul charge 2 here, I need to make sure I don't hit triggers on the rest of the attacks. So we will soul charge because the only way we can put stuff back, so we're literally just playing with fire over here. This will put 3 cards into the deck. We have 15 cards in Soul, which is kind of scary to think about. Don't really have things to retire for the PG searches. How many PGs do I even have in here? Do you retire anything? This says... Discard 1. Discarding 1 is interesting. It's not really what I need right now, though. I think here, we're going to use you to pop an intercept. Bada bing, bada boom. And then we want to call you down. And is your search optional? It's not optional. Oh, then I kind of misplayed, huh? We slightly misplayed because, surprise, surprise, I needed to call things the other column around. Do I call this down just for the power? I guess I... No, but if it soul charges, I'm dead. screw it. I'm gonna hold up my own mistake. I'm gonna hold myself to my own mistake and not use this here yet. Although, to be honest, it could be used. We can flip Blitza. This does need CB, so that's why we didn't use that. And then get rid of the field here. And then pray we don't check a draw on this. If we do check a draw, it can be on this one. There, it's fine. Get the power up on here. And push for 1 damage. And here we need to put stuff back to deck. Oh, the Scharrhots didn't go back. Enigmatic Assassin can stay for now. We just pushed here. This was honestly not a great turn. Kind of misplayed. We have 3 heals and a PG in hand. I feel like we can survive. My opponent's probably going to Legion up. And we need to go into like lame strides basically from now on. I mean, we can't really afford to attack anymore because we didn't... The problem is that this Chariot did not go back to deck. And there's no more Chariots in deck. So I need to, like, Soul Charge? Double Intercept coming down? Yep, that's pretty annoying. So yeah, we slightly over Soul Charged, I think, early. I think Gland's End might have cost me the game. Because I was pretty happy with the Gland's End at first because I was like, oh cool, like this gets me where I want to be, but Soul Charging a bit too fast, like, means that you cannot gradually bring your deck back to pace, or bring back the speed, rather, the way you would want to, which is obviously what I wanted to do, you know, over a series of turns, which we couldn't do. So here I think we just go into... I think here we're gonna basically just go for a one-shot attempt with Gilles. Gilles can barely attack. Do I have a draw left? I do have a draw left. If I draw into the draw here, we're fine. If I don't, I'm screwed. Actually, no, I'm not. I have 2 bikes here, so we're kind of okay. We're kind of okay. Like, honestly, barely okay. We cannot use Scharhrot's skill, though, because we will deck out, because we draw 1 first, and we Soul Charge 2 and die. Will it tell me? Yes, it still wants me to deck out. Okay, what a fantastic AI. So this puts back a card. We drew into the draw, at least, so that's good. We do this and this. Cool, and then do we have any Darkness ability cards left? We don't, actually, so I think this is a safe call. Yeah, it doesn't even try to search, that's good. So here we swing at both rears and try to win off of the Gilles. Did I have a PG in here? I did, I could have searched that out. Whoops, could have killed off the bike. My bad there. Alright, well now my opponent needs to have a grade 3 in here. Or double heal guard, because they don't have any triggers. Nope, they have a grade 3. Okay, so they're gonna be left with 1 card in hand. So they can have... If they top deck, if they have an attacker and they top deck an attacker, they can actually push me through. And then... Oh no, that's all they're gonna do. Okay, that's actually interesting. They check a draw. So I can try to push here a little bit. Without even... striding, which is very sick. So here we don't even choose to stride, and we're gonna just put you here, and we can put, I mean, honestly, just in case of defensives, I will do this, and then we're dead next turn anyway, so we're gonna call you down here. 3 cards left, none of them are triggers. We can attack safely with the Vanguard first, and try to force out the PG first. Are there any heals left in my opponent? Oh, there are plenty of heals left in my opponent's deck. Double heal guard. There are not that many heals left in my opponent's deck. Alright, well, if they check a defensive here, then we just lose to the defensive. I hope not. Okay. Now they need the last heal guard in hand, and we survive. Or, I mean, we win. This is a very unexpected win if we do get it, because, goddamn, this was being... Of course not! God... It's never that easy. It's never that easy, unfortunately. Alright, they can just call down whatever. Yep, there was an attacker and they have front row buff. There was an attempt. Alright, that was a clumsy game. That was a clumsy game in my opinion. Not very smooth because of how aggressively we soul charged on the first right turn. But we almost had it even then. Alright, time for another game. Let's see what we face off against. It's gonna be Royals. Pizza potatoes. And he says, weakness is a sin, therefore I want to win. Let's have a good match. That sounds like a haiku. I think we keep the PG here. We don't have a grade 3 yet, but, you know, protagonist powers, etc., etc. We'll find us one. There we go, see? What did I tell you? What did I tell you? We have a darkness card to ride on turn 1, into the best ride target on grade 2, into first stride, and has stride fodder in hand, and a PG in hand, everything. Of course, but it is all Mal we're playing as. Wait, huh? It's too bright, I can't read. 130? Oh no. Pizza potatoes aren't messing around, bro. The pizza potatoes are not messing around. They're here for business. They're here to pick up the check. They're not here to mess around and play games. Alright, let's ride the Were Tiger Jaeger and just chill on him for a little bit. Swing in, you know, push in a damage. Nothing too crazy. 130! What? Okay, hits the defensive crit. Gets the draw out of it. That's nice. I'm guessing if you climb really fast, maybe you do play crits. Perhaps. Perhaps. I climbed fast in Shadowverse recently. I can't say the same about Vanguard 0. I was enjoying Lord a lot, until I got really busy and haven't had time to play too much lately. And also, you know, only really playing on my phone instead of, like, streaming and stuff. But definitely gonna get back to streaming the game more because, of course, you know, it's now easier for me to stream it because of, you know, what I mentioned at the start of the video. He does check a crit on the... great, and I put the heal in the wrong order, which is unfortunate. Am I going to die? Maybe. Okay, gonna win the Ripper. Not gonna be doing too much right now. We could just ride, swing, pass here, honestly. Like, pray we don't get crit again. That would be cool if we don't. A PG goes to bottom, I would rather see that in Soul. Not gonna lie. But yes. Oof, it has gotten really hot here in Tokyo. Like, I'm chilling over here with my AC and everything. And, like, it's, you know, air conditioning saves lives. But boy, oh boy, is it blazing all of a sudden. Like, but it's interesting. Like, it's 36 degrees here, but it does not feel as bad as 36 degrees back at home. Like, 36 degrees back in Luxembourg is, like, actually horrible. Like, suffocating. Like, you can barely breathe. It's super hot. It's just really obnoxious. But somehow here, it's, like, chill. It's, like, all good, a-okay, if you will. You play draws too? Okay, you're not just going all in monkey crit. Interesting. Watch him check it. Okay, it doesn't check it back to back. That would be a little bit crazy, a little bit spooky, a little bit. Why are my two edges in the freaking damage zone, dude? That's my precious intercept. Okay, there we go. That's more like it. All right, well at least that means I can use my retire skills, I guess? Question mark. We're only at 4 souls, we get 2 soul from this, we get 2 soul from hitting. We don't actually have a way to soul charge in this current hand, so I hope we draw into something. But I guess it's fine. Let's use Were Tiger Jaeger to ditch for stride, and then we're going to be able to put back 2 cards. Only if we have 10 soul, by the way. That's another reason why reaching 10 soul on first stride is so important, is that, you know, that's the only way you can do it. So, this is going to put us to 6. This will put us to 6. We drew into this thing, which can soul charge an extra card. This gets us an extra card, but it's not enough. It's the thing, it's not enough. I kind of need to put up a big offensive here. This also only gets plus 2k if you have 10 soul, which means it's not really doing much right now. Kind of just want to play down the Scharhrot, but I don't have that much of a defensive hand. No PGs in here either, which is not great. The Chariot would be cool to play down. I feel like I want to keep the removal for later. I just hope I don't die to freaking all-Mal doing all-Mal things. You know, that's always my main concern. So, and I want to keep it because of my only removal, so I think I'll need it. So let's do that. Technically could have gone for the draw stride. I'm only now realizing that I won't be able to retire anything here because my opponent's only rearguard is a non-retirable rearguard. So that's a little bit unfortunate. Yeah, let's use it. Soul Charge 2. And unfortunately, be 1 off. 1 off, but then we're... So basically, we're 1 off now. And then when we stride, we're going to be at 11. Which means we're going to be 2 off from 13. I was going to try to retire, it's not going to retire, going to try twice, going twice, and failed. Alright, so we pass on this. I can feel like I'm going to die. I feel like I got greedy with the intercept, but my hand is... See, why did I even go into the stride? I'm questioning my moves immediately after doing them. This was clearly the turn for the triple rare girl, the Kiss Kill, because she would have gotten us more, at least another card on top of Soul Charging 2. And like the retire there didn't do anything, so I literally was not using my brain. I did not look at the field. I simply looked at the card because I'm a card game player. Not reader. That's the funny thing. Card game players are not readers. They are only players because they, you know, they oogle, you know, they take. They Google Gaga, you know, the Lego Duplo, they put the two big blocks together, but they can't read the instructions, so they end up being the wrong way around, and then they cry on Twitter, because that's what babies do. I'm talking about toddlers, by the way, not like metaphorical babies. I don't know what I'm saying. Don't listen to me. So my opponent's gonna go into Gabblade and do horrible things to me, which is not as exciting as you might think. You know, when someone goes up to you and says, I want you to do horrible things to me, you might be like, damn, bro, what's wrong? What, you want to talk or something? I'm lost, I'm sorry. I'm trying to go somewhere, but, you know, looking at Scharhrot and just how goddamn sexy it is not letting me concentrate, and that's a problem. So my opponent here is going to attack with Gabblade first, I assume, because I assume they don't, you know, they want to use the on-hit skill. They're gonna attack the rear guard first. Okay, so I'm assuming here you want to use Gabblade to call up Bennyzel, and then the Benny's... I mean, you don't even have to call the Bennyzel. Like, you can call Bennyzel here, and like another thing here, and then the other thing, like a Twin Sword, will call a booster, you know, the freaking Mr. Selim down there, and then I will die, because that's how this matchup goes. So here we go. Gabblade time. What will it find? Question mark? Pause for suspense? Oh no, nothing sus about that. That's just a 23k swing, which means I can heal guard it. Yay! Which means I can put the heal guard back after striding, which is also excellent. So, with all those great things being said, we need to draw into something that Soul Charges 2. Librarian, please! Oh, that... See, that could get us there, but it will only get us one card. What can I do? I don't want to gamble, like... This needs 13 for the guard restrict, and this... this needs 13 for the guard restrict, this needs 13 for the guard restrict. So, but this can do stuff without the guard restrict. And my opponent's at 4. I feel like we just farm, to be honest. I think we just farm a turn here. Pray to draw into a good grade 1 here, that's for sure. So this way we're at 11, and we get to 13. A bit slow, unfortunately. It's like the polar opposite of last game. Last game we were like there instantly. Oh, we draw into the freaking Soul Charger that we needed. A bit unfortunate that that happened, but alas, it is what it is. Which I guess means we can get a little funky here. So let's use this, draw a card, see what it finds us. We're gonna just draw a bunch of cards here. Okay, that's a PG. That's pretty good actually. Only problem is I don't have any good grade 1s to retire. And the intercept staying is very important here. So I think we need a Stride Fodder for next turn, so I think we do want to use your skill. So I'll drop this for now and get the Stride Fodder back to hand. Oh, that Soul Charge is another PG. Wait a second, that's kind of broken. Okay, you know what's better than a Soul Charger? Is a PG. Where is it at? Come on, I don't have much time. I don't have much time, look at that bar! The bar, dude, look at the bar! It's going crazy. Alright, we're gonna be at 14 soul here in this battle, which is a-okay. Ah, calm down there. Don't do that. Shush! Do not do that. Alright, so with this, we took a heal. That's actually good. I might survive? Question mark? Probably not. A draw? Don't need that as much. There's a Stride Fodder. Cool, that came back. Alright, we put back 2 cards here as well. We're gonna draw 2, put back 2. My opponent checks a draw, which is fine, I guess. Chariot, would rather see that in, definitely rather see that in the freaking... Oh, Salim, goodbye. Alright, cool. We put back stuff, we have 3 intercepts. Pretty much gaming, confirmed. We have 7 cards in deck, 1 Chariot that we need to really draw into to keep stuff in the deck going. That's the only sad part, is you can't search this Chariot and just, you know, use it like that. So, the rest of our deck looks pretty good, not gonna lie. It's just that I'm using up a lot of time, that's about it. So now that we pushed our opponent to 5, we can use a Chariot Stride that we have not got into yet, I think. And no, we did go into it. We haven't got into Gilles de Ré, because the situations do not call for Gildere. Well, actually, this turn would have been won if I had this already in hand, because I would have had to gamble to draw into it, you see, and gambling bad. That's what my mom tells me. So, I listen to my mom. Do you listen to yours? I hope so. Alright, we got the PG and Soul, which means we can take that out of the Soul and have a better hand. Goes into the air model? Alright, flying blue. I see how it is. Understandably so. What will you do with this? Aside from just the extra power. Pretty rare for them not to go into Tengen. I feel like it's probably because he wants to like deck search for a removal card to get rid of my back row intercept, because that's pretty annoying. So understandable. I definitely do get that. It is a fair point. A valid opinion, if you will. Do you search for removal? Do you play removal? I'm assuming you have a spirit in here somewhere. Is there a spirit? Yeah, there is a spirit, but spirit only retires front row. So, I guess with this, if you have, like, so basically you would pop a rear, then you swing with the rear to rear, you swing with Van to rear, and then you attack with like a twin sword or something, and then call another attacker. Or a Suleiman, that also works. I feel like, do people even play twin sword anymore? It feels like I don't see it anymore. Although I think that it's still a very good card, but looks like people are maybe prioritizing Suleiman instead. I would understand that. Alright, this Allmal's gonna go into my back row. Allmal, what are you doing to my back row, dude? Come on. That's not nice. That doesn't look cool. So, the one problem is that I'll be at 6 cards in deck, 5 cards in deck at the start of my turn. If I stride and soul charge, I go down to 3. So I have to literally draw into this freaking Scharhrot to not die. Which is, you know, a thing. Where are my other Scharhrots, actually? Are they in drop? There's one in drop. Okay, that's good enough. Yeah, it's like you soul charge 2 to put back 2 cards. So in the end, you're putting back the same amount. My opponent has a resist in the back row, so it's like, should I really be doing that? Should I be putting stuff back? I don't know. Should I? What's cool is that we have a removal. And that's a really... see, if we had double removal and the Scharhrot Strike, no, that'd be crazy. That would just be insane. Someone would have to call the police for that. Do I have enough cards to guard this? You call a card, I PG it, and then you attack with the card, right? You don't call anything else, right? Right? No, Suleiman's right. You're not gonna... I'm gonna die. Wait a second. Am I just dead? See, this is why Allmal is stinky, because it just does this, dude. It's gonna attack with Suleiman now, and it's gonna call something that can hit for 16. Because this thing gives it freaking... Oh no, it's not. Never mind, I will survive, I guess. Based? Poggers? Pog-pilled? Alright, well, if that's the case, that changes a lot of things. We're going into this. Because this opens up the front row, and it also gets rid of our opponent's board and gets over resist and stuff. Which is pretty cool. So let's do that, I think. Yeah, why not? We have good enough attackers on the board, so might as well, right? We're looking pretty decent here. So no need to soul charge this Scharhrot. Draw to the Char... Jävlar. Alright. It's the only Swedish word I know. Okay, retire that. I'm Angie, you see. Angie Jones. We call you here. We call you here. And then we're gonna make a assassin after that. Okay. Hi. I know, Danji. No time. Yes, very important. Okay. Show me your heal guards, bro. How many you got? 7? 4? 2? This counter charge is right. We don't really need the counter charge that much. So let's flip this up and do the cool thing. Look at that. Okay, the starter does not pop, which is a bit unfortunate, but that's fine. PG? We're still a PG? No, the last Scharhrot. Okay, that's like the end of the world. He had a grade 3 in hand too? Okay, but do you have another card to protect from the assassin that comes out of nowhere? Crazy, Among Us style? Come on, surely. No, but it was so sus. How could you know? How did he know? How did he know it was supposed to be sus? What? My sussy assassin. It was too loud. The sussy assassin made too much noise, and therefore I got bamboozled. What did you just discard? Grade 2 and the PG? Alright, go for Tengen. Go crazy, bro. You gotta deal 2 damage and you win. That's all you gotta do. That's how easy it is in these streets. Alright, Well, this has been an attempt to show off Dark Irregulars. I hope it was successful. I don't play this deck very much, as you probably have noticed, but it looks pretty. And I think if, you know, it gets some more support, I will play it more. Because it will get some more support. Scharhrot actually gets very good in the future, too. It's already pretty good, to be honest, but it gets even better. And I wish I didn't deck out so easily. That's like the only problem. But, you know, some would say, stop playing draws, idiot! And to that I would say, no, because I need them. Look at my hand, bro. Look at it. Alright, well, here we go. Here comes the 20. He's gonna soul charge from this. Crazy. And of course we don't have any heals, so it is going to be an L. Alright, so there you have it, folks. This has been Scharhrot. I hope you enjoyed this very, very late deck and fight of this deck. Up next, I will of course read the comments and see what you guys want to see, but otherwise you will be seeing probably updated Altmile with Fidesz next. Because honestly I haven't finished many decks from set 8 because set 8 was just a huge skip for me. So I have like Altmile and I have like almost finished Gear Chronicle. I'm missing a couple things, but it's like almost finished. So I guess that works if it does. But yeah, otherwise let me know what you want to see in the next deck and fight. I'll be alternating between TCG and Zero content as usual. Tier list will also be late. I will not get it out before the end of the month and before the next set drops. So thank you for your understanding. And then of course there'll be a new pack opening on Friday of the set release as usual. Anyway, if you liked the video, give it a like, and if you haven't already, please do subscribe. But otherwise, I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.